Um, Today we are going to see about the unit 1, that is introduction on CAD of electrical apparatus. The CO1 for this unit is compare the conventional and field analysis based design. Generally, electromagnetic field theory will be comprises of two things. First one is electrostatics as well as second one is magnetostatics. The combination of both electrostatics as well as magnetostatics constitute this electromagnetic field theory. Under this, first we are going to see about electrostatics. Let us see one by one. First is Coulomb's law. So let us take two small objects and we want to calculate the force between them. So what these Coulomb's law states is the forces, that is the force between two very small objects which is separated by a particular distance, is very large when compared to their size. So what it is literally mean, the separation of distance, the distance should be more than the radius of the size. So the distance which is very large as compared to their size is directly proportional to charge on each. Whenever if you are taking two objects, then the product of these two and is inversely proportional to the square of distance between them. Here the main limitation is that the separation of distance should be large when compared to their individual size of the charges. So the statement clearly indicates the force between two small objects whose distance of separation is very large when compared to their size is directly proportional to charge on each and inversely proportional to square of distance between them. The formula for this whole statement is F is directly proportional to Q1, Q2. Here Q1, Q2 is nothing but two charges and whose distance is R. So according to the definition, F is directly proportional to Q1, Q2 divided by R square. This proportionality is replaced by the constant K, that is F is equal to K into Q1, Q2 divided by R square, where K is nothing but the constant which is 1 by 4 pi epsilon, where epsilon is equal to epsilon naught into epsilon R. Epsilon naught is permittivity of free space, epsilon R is permittivity of air. We know that the permittivity of air value is 1, so epsilon is equal to epsilon naught into 1, which is nothing but epsilon. So when substituting the value to the above F equation, F is equal to Q1 Q2 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught R square, whose unit is Newton. Now we are going to see about the Coulomb's law in vector form. Let us take the two small charges Q1 and Q2, which is located at a distance of R1 from the origin and R2 from the origin. See the diagram here. The origin is nothing but the point where we are standing. Let us take the point where we are standing. The Q1 charge is located at a distance R1 from the origin. Similarly, Q2 charge is located at a distance R2 from the origin. Now, see the point here. Then the force F12 on Q2 due to Q1. What is meant by F12? That is force on second charge due to the first charge. This F12 meaning is nothing but force on second charge due to first charge. That is force on Q2 due to Q1. While converting the statement into the formula, that is F12 is equal to Q1 Q2, that is the product of two charges Q1 Q2 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught or 12 square, since the distance between Q1 and Q2 is R12. So the distance is nothing but R12 square. But now here we are multiplying A cap R12. What is meant by A cap R12? Since this is a positional vector. What is meant by positional vector? The point whose direction according to x, y and z has been given in the question from the origin. So whenever the question, if they have given the positional vectors of any charges, then we have to multiply with the unit vector, that is A cap R12. What is the formula for A cap R12? That is difference between the two charges and divided by the magnitude of charges. So here the distance between two charges is R12 square, that is which is nothing but a denominator, but a cap r1 is nothing but r2 minus r1. How we can write the r2 minus r1 here? See, the force on q2 because of q1. So where the force is located in the direction, that is F12. So from our point of view, we should first subtract from this R2 minus R1 divided by R2 minus R1 the whole cube. Let me clearly explain you. Yeah, see, this is an updated notes which is nothing but see here, two charges q1 and q2, that is f is directly proportional to q1 q2 by r square, where f is the constant is replaced by the term k, where k is 1 by 4 pi epsilon. Epsilon is nothing but epsilon naught into epsilon r. Epsilon r value is 1. So on substituting the equation, f is equal to 1 by 4 pi epsilon q1 q2 divided by r square. Case 1. Suppose if both the charges having same polarity, let us take either it is positive or negative, but it should be greater than 0. If the polarity of the two charges are same, then repulsive force will act on the two charges, isn't it? Whenever say we already know that same poles will repel each other, unlike poles will attract each other. Here also, here both the charges are of same nature, so they get repulsive forces. So here I have pointed the arrow mark in the outward direction. See here, the Q2 force is directed outwards. Similarly, the Q1 force is also directed outwards. Coming to case 2, both the charges having unlike polarity, that is different polarity. If the polarity of two charges are opposite in nature, what it will do? It will attract each other. So here I have given the forces in inverse direction, that is towards the charge. See, let us take the point O, which is nothing but the origin. Q1 is situated at a distance of R1 from the origin. Similarly, Q2 is situated at a distance R2 from the origin. Now I am going to calculate the force on F1. Okay. See here, what is the formula? 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q1 q2 divided by r square r1 cap, since the distance is r1. What is meant by this r1 cap? That is the unit vector of r1. See the formula here, r vector divided by magnitude of r vector. What is meant by this r vector? R vector is nothing but, see, the force is now acting towards this, that is F1. So from we have to go from this side. So for this force F1, that is on the force on Q1, what is the radius? Sorry, what is the distance? R1. So R1 minus R2 divided by R. Okay. Again I will explain. Now we are going to calculate the force on F1. F1 is nothing but force acting on Q1. Q1 is situated at a distance R1 from the origin. So now we are going to calculate the force on F1. From this side only we have to concentrate. From this side, what is the distance here? First R1. So we have to subtract R1 minus R2 divided by R. See the equation here. This R is replaced by R1 minus R2. Already denominator R square term is there. Here again on R1. When we have multiplied this, it becomes R cube. So similarly, write the equation for F2. F2 is nothing but 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, again Q1 Q2 by R cube. Now here R2 minus R1. Since we are seeing from this side, isn't it? Since we are seeing from this side, the first distance is R2, so R2 minus R1. Hope you understand the formula. Next, principle of superposition. If we have more than 2 point charges, let us take a system is consisting of 5 or 6 charges, then we can apply the principle of superposition here. What superposition theorem states that if there are n charges like q1, q2, q3, etc. up to qn respectively, then at points with position vector is nothing but the charge whose distance from the origin, which is nothing but position vector. See, r1 is the distance for the charge q1 from the origin. Similarly, r2 is the distance for the charge q2 from the origin, etc. up to rn. Rn is the nothing but distance of charge qn from the origin. So the resultant force on charge q, which is located at a distance r, let us take a charge q is separately located at one particular distance. Now we are going to calculate the force with respect to q1 on q, similarly q2 on q, etc. up to qn on q. What will be the formula here, which is nothing but the vector sum of forces exerted on q by each charges. That is, each and every charge will be contributing towards the q, so we have to add up all the forces. Let us see the formula here. Since first the force on q1, the force on q due to q1. So I have multiplied the two charges q1 q into r minus r1. Why first I have write r1? Since charge on q, that is force on q, we are starting from q. Q distance is r. So r minus r1 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught. Already r minus r1 square will be there. Instead of this unit vector, again one r minus r1 will be there. So on multiplying this, r minus r1 the whole cube. Similarly, for second charge q2 on q, that is q2 r minus r2 divided by 4 pi epsilon naught r minus r2 the whole cube, etc. up to qn. So this is like summation like series, isn't it? So in this above equation, we can take the constant term, that is q by 4 pi epsilon naught. Then in order to include the remaining term, I have used summation k is equal to 1 to n. See here, this r1, r2, etc. up to, it goes up to rn. So I have used summation here. Summation k is equal to 1 to n qk r minus rk divided by r minus rk the whole cube. This is, which is nothing but the equation when we have applied for more than two charges. Next we are going to see electric field intensity. Let us take a fixed charge q, which is always fixed in one particular position, and now we are going to move another charge, which is nothing but a test charge, which is moving towards the fixed charge. As a result, some force will be experienced around the fixed charge q. This force is nothing but a flux lines. The electric field will be penetrating in and around the fixed charge. This is nothing but the electric field intensity. So whenever there is a fixed charges, and when we are moving some external charges towards the fixed charges, automatically there will be an interaction between the two charges, which is nothing but an electric field intensity, which is also known as it will experience a force. So the electric field intensity is defined as electric force per unit charge, that is capital E is equal to electric force is F divided by Q. But already we know the formula for the force. According to Coulomb's law, F is equal to Q divided by 4 pi epsilon naught R square. Substitute the value of F here. This denominator Q term and this Q term would cancel. So we get the equation as Q by 4 pi epsilon naught R square. If it is more than two charges, again 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught summation k is equal to 1 to n qk r minus rk divided by r minus rk the whole cube. See, in this equation the q term get cancelled. Here we can use both small q as well as capital Q. This q term get cancelled in case of electric field intensity, and now the equation becomes 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught for the rest of the term. Hope you have understood the Coulomb's law as well as superposition theorem based on Coulomb's law and electric field intensity.